the store's campus, and we've seen her play at the college level. She's looked like, a pro in the making, a pro-ready player. She was National Player of the Year as a freshman, and Coach Oriema has talked throughout.
WNBA legend Rebecca Lobo drags Angel Reese out of interview as she tried to humiliate Caitlin Clark. Please subscribe to this channel so that you will not miss out on any information. In the fast-evolving world of women's sports, the stories that resonate most are often those that take place beyond the game clock. Moments that reveal the character, integrity, and values of the players and commentators who shape the narrative. A recent confrontation involving WNBA legend and ESPN analyst Rebecca Lobo and rising college basketball star Angel Reese has sparked intense discussion across sports media and fan circles. This moment has drawn attention not only to individual behavior, but also to the evolving culture of women's basketball, where competition meets the call for unity, sportsmanship, and respect. What might have been a standard post-game media interaction soon turned into a pivotal moment for the sport. Lobo, renowned for her dedication to the growth and integrity of women's basketball, took a stand when she believed that a line had been crossed. Her actions were more than just a defense of one player. They were a passionate reminder of what women's basketball represents and what it can become. The setting was ripe for celebration. A high-stakes NCAA women's basketball matchup that featured standout performances from two of the sport's brightest collegiate stars, LSU's Angel Reese and Iowa's Caitlin Clark. Both had electrified fans throughout the tournament, drawing record-breaking viewership with their bold, passionate styles of play. However, during what should have been a triumphant post-game moment for Reese, the energy shifted. As the cameras rolled, Reese made comments that appeared to some as dismissive or condescending toward Clark, reigniting a rivalry that had been simmering since their previous high-profile encounters. The tone of the interview took many viewers by surprise. Instead of focusing on the celebration and sportsmanship typical of such occasions, the conversation leaned into controversy. That's when Rebecca Lobo, present as part of the broadcast team, chose to speak up, not with harsh criticism, but with a message rooted in experience and responsibility. In a composed but firm manner, she reminded Reese and the audience of the bigger picture, the importance of honoring one's opponents and the broader responsibility elite athletes have as role models. To understand why Lobo's words carried so much weight, one must consider her extensive contributions to women's basketball over the decades. A pivotal figure in the sport's mainstream rise, Lobo was part of the iconic 1996 U.S. Olympic team that helped launch the WNBA and solidify global recognition for women athletes. Before that, she was a foundational player for the University of Connecticut, where she led the Huskies to their first national championship and helped put the program on the map. After retiring from professional play, Lobo seamlessly transitioned into broadcasting, where she brought not just technical insight, but also a deep commitment to the values of the game. She became a trusted voice, someone who consistently championed fairness, mutual respect, and the importance of mentorship. Her commentary often highlights more than stats or scores. It calls attention to leadership, emotional intelligence, and the growth of women's sports as a whole. In the interview with Reese, Lobo wasn't just correcting a young player. She was extending her legacy as a steward of the sport. Her response was emblematic of the principles she's promoted throughout her career. Athletes must be ambassadors for the game and for each other. The interaction between Reese and Clark and Lobo's reaction to it exposes a deeper conversation about what it means to be competitive in the spotlight of modern women's basketball. As the sport enjoys unprecedented popularity, with more media coverage, endorsements, and fan engagement than ever before, the pressure on players to perform, both on and off the court, is immense. Rivalries are natural and often exciting, but they must not overshadow the fundamental respect that athletes should have for one another. Especially in a sport where visibility and respect have been hard-earned over decades, public displays of animosity can sometimes undercut the collective progress that so many have fought for. Lobo's comments served as a powerful reminder that while fiery competition is part of the game, so too is humility, grace in victory, and acknowledgement of the talents and hard work of one's peers, even rivals. Another critical aspect of this story is the role that sports media plays in framing these moments. Coverage of Reese and Clark has often emphasized conflict and drama, sometimes pushing nuanced context aside in favor of more clickable narratives. This tendency can unfairly spotlight negative moments, especially when it comes to women athletes, who are frequently held to different standards than their male counterparts. Lobo's live intervention during the interview also functioned as a subtle critique of how media portrayals can escalate tensions. As a commentator, she recognized the potential harm in allowing disrespectful tones to go unaddressed and took it upon herself to restore balance to the narrative. In doing so, she modeled a more constructive way for media figures to use their platforms, not to sensationalize, but to educate and elevate. In the days following the incident, responses flooded social media and sports talk shows. Many praised Lobo for her mature, thoughtful approach and her willingness to speak truth to power, even in a live broadcast setting. Others sympathized with Reese, arguing that her comments stemmed from competitive passion and the weight of media scrutiny. To her credit, Reese later addressed the controversy publicly, offering clarification and expressing appreciation for Clark's talent and contributions to the sport. This gesture was welcomed by fans and analysts alike as a step toward understanding and growth. It demonstrated that athletes, like all people, are capable of reflection and maturity, and that mistakes or missteps can lead to important conversations. What unfolded during that interview, and the responses that followed, mark a significant moment in the evolution of women's basketball. The sport stands at a crossroads, where its growing popularity brings new opportunities, but also new responsibilities. The spotlight is brighter than ever, and with it comes the expectation that players and commentators alike will represent the best of what the game has to offer. Rebecca Lobo's actions reflect a deep understanding of what's at stake. Her insistence on maintaining dignity and respect in competition echoes the values that have helped carry women's basketball to its current heights. And by addressing conflict constructively rather than ignoring it, she set an example not just for the athletes on the court, but for everyone invested in the sport's future. Ultimately, the interaction between Lobo and Reese serves as a reminder that leadership comes in many forms. Sometimes it's demonstrated through on-court excellence. Other times, it's found in the courage to speak up for what's right in moments of tension. As women's basketball continues to grow, it will rely on voices like Rebecca Lobo's, voices that promote unity, demand accountability, and inspire the next generation to compete with both passion and purpose.